Hey guys, welcome back. Today we have Matt and Bobbie. They're a married couple from Perth, Australia. Keen to have a conversation with you guys and how Bitcoin's essentially changed your life.
Hey guys, how you going?
Yeah, guys, how we going? Joey, thanks for having us again, mate. Nice to see you.
Keen as. I enjoyed our chat, Matt, when we had a few weeks ago, and it's cool to have you and your wife now on together. So I just wanted to set the stage. What year, sort of what phase of life were you guys in when Bitcoin sort of jumped at you, and then you sort of grabbed on and took it pretty serious, and sort of what was your life before in the world of fiat currencies, saving in the bank, trying to build a small business in that system, and what sort of jumped at you about Bitcoin that really intrigued you in that time?
Well, it's only been a year so far, but it feels like forever. It's
been a curve, hasn't it? But to start with, what life was like before was being pretty pissed off with the government and the way they just take money off your hand over fist, especially with a small business. Small business was where it was all at.
We noticed it the most.
Yeah, and the fallout from even selling the business and just every which way you move, the extra taxes, the fees, even like months after the business we thought was sold, there's still another tax bill. There's, there's fees and here and there. You think it's all finalised. And so from there forward, it was just, you sort of felt like you were just drifting along, still angry, watching a lot of, following people in different social medias and being on the same page with what's going on, but not really having the answer, I guess. So
and then once you do find Bitcoin, that it's like a relief.
Yeah, like
in a way, like it's an answer for why you've been feeling the way we do feel sometimes.
And that the opt out, really, they're the words we quite often use, is that there's that light at the end of the tunnel that you're like, oh wow, we can do something. We can actually, instead of going to protests and jumping on and arguing with people on social media and carrying on in the circles that you do at work, and you just feel like you can quietly make a difference by removing your money out of that centralized system that just hammers us every day.
Yeah, before we sort of dive into what Bitcoin means to you and that whole rabbit hole that we love to chat about, was there a stage in your life, probably before kids, or sort of that stage where you're entering that phase where life sort of seemed normal and sort of doable and sort of affordable, and then was there a sort of a pivot point where you went, we were able to buy a house a bit younger and that seems to work out, but the reality is life is just getting more and more expensive and something has broken in the last 5 years, 10 years? Like, is there something you've noticed that has changed from early on in your life to something now?
Oh, definitely. We got married young and had a house at 21, was it?
Yeah.
Well, I was 21. So, we started early in the investing and stuff.
And it was easier. It's what Joey said. It was easier, like there was still funny enough, there was still the 2%, or was it 5% deposit with the government? I think it's when John Howard brought out the $7,000 first home buyers grant. And that is what kicked it off. I think we were renting a place and my mum and dad said, well, why don't you build one? So, and we did. We built that house for $120,000, mate, for a house and land with 750 square metre block in a pretty crappy area in Perth, but that's what we could afford. We didn't go any further than what our budget allowed.
Well, you couldn't in a way.
There's the difference. That's probably where that shift change now, and the money is broken. So it's inflated to a point now. What's the average? Like, we all talk about it, $1 million now. I think you and Sean spoke about on your live.
Yeah, median house price $1 million now.
So, I mean, we're talking, that was 2001. So we're talking 25 years. So a quarter of a century later, and she's up shit creek. It is.
So, we've probably seen it more than what, say, the likes of you have, Joey, because we're that bit older. So we've seen how dramatic it's changed in the last probably 10 years compared to when we were
the last
10 to 40,
and 5 in particular, 6. If I'm gonna mention COVID again, because that was the, whichever way you look at it, that might have been the big test, I think, to see how the population and society reacts to we'll call it a pandemic. That's probably where it's changed the most now, and it seems to be a rapid shift towards, I don't know, the end of the money we have now and the new one, or what's being constructed, who knows? But
now we've got a new focus. It's
they're definitely
you can
it's definitely been harder, but debt levels are higher. People aren't, the house we built isn't the house new start a couple of build now. It didn't have anything in it, like
we had to do our own floors and
it was a lot. It was not like a house you get now. You didn't have anything in it. The air conditionings, the blinds, like
basic laminates, all that.
We
sort
finished
of stuff.
it all off. So I guess it's what comes with materialism and what people want. I guess so. We need to think about what you need in life to get where you're going, don't you? Like, I think it's compounding in two ways. I think the money's broken and people want more and don't want to work for it.
And also very distracted. I think we're very distracted with society, like having the car that's as good as the next door's, or but
keeping up with the Joneses.
And that we were there. We were there.
We've got experience.
Yeah, we've had a lot of cars.
A lot of experience in it, so it's not as if
we've had the cars and the caravans and the campers, but we've done all that with the kids, and we're happy to do that. But we did go without a few things along the way, and then after all that we went into business. So that was where
it changed.
That's where we learnt the money, the money and the tax and the printing. So
and how it's being played.
I wanted to sort of I suppose I just want to hear where Bobbie first found Bitcoin. It sounds like she got there a little bit before you, Matt, unfortunately.
Yeah.
I just want to hear how did that even come in? How'd that even come into your world, and what was your conversation with Matt being like, hey, we should definitely consider this?
I think what it was is, I've said it before, but I've watched a lot of podcasts or listened to a lot of podcasts while I was vacuuming or doing the dishes, into health and all that kind of thing. And then I listened to one with Paul Check and Joe Bryan, and it just, I don't know, it just clicked something in me, and I sent it to Matt. He watched it and the same, and then it was just a couple of hours, and I was just pretty much convinced, to be honest. It just clicked, so it just resonated so much. And then I can't remember.
It took me about a week.
More. Yeah.
I think a week driving back and forth to work, because that's where I get my podcasting. I drive 45 minutes up the hill to work, so I try and get some listening in. And I think it took me not long.
Nah.
But it was, I think we got some more content, and I definitely know it was Adam Hudson talking to Zane. Adam Hudson had Zane on through Unemployable Media. That was when I shifted. That was literally like, let's give this guy a call, and that was it. We're off.
Just because, he made it relatable. Like he's in Queensland, he's an Aussie. He's feeling the pressure, and it sounds like he's done well in the previous system too, like with his real estate or hotel business or whatever it was. But he's even feeling it, and just hearing it from him. Same with me. Like I started to direct Zane straight to my dad, because I said it's a similar age bracket, and maybe Dad doesn't want to hear it from me. Like I probably just sound like I'm trying to make quick money, as young people do. But then you hear it from someone that are wearing a John Deere hat. Like my dad loves John Deere, and he just takes it a bit more serious. And I think his calm attitude is something that we're all drawn to, because he's feeling the 40%, 50% drops at times too. But he just it just bounces off him. So 100%. So you sort of discovered Bitcoin, found Zane, and then what did it look like joining that group, and sort of the acceptance that group sort of has? Because I love the community aspect of that.
Yeah, that was good, I think. And I always remember, I'm still going to say it again, we were number, I think, 21 in the group of 50. So I remember going, wow, there's 20.
More now, yeah.
Which one were you, Joey? You were later on.
I don't know what number I was, but 21's a special number, so you're lucky.
Yeah, good age, 21. I remember being 21. But I thought then, like, shit, there's 20 people in. Like, that's heaps. And it just kept growing and growing. But what I loved about Zane, and I think we want to sort of follow that sort of structure with what we're doing, is he just had a bit of a footprint or a roadmap to follow, like, at a network. And that's what this is all
Guidance,
about. Yeah. A network, straight to Storm Rate, Natalia, Easy Super. And we have done the same with Bobbie's brother. We've helped him do the same thing.
And my mum.
And Bobbie's mum and dad. So, yeah. And then the course we're saying, you know, the circle and the 6-week course, that's where we really learnt. It was going to school again, wasn't it? Like,
Yeah.
And we learnt the proper way, and that's one of our biggest messages.
Yeah, do it the proper way the first time, and then you don't have the stress and the worry about it. Or
you still can have that when you're shifting those large chunks of money. Sometimes it can be stressful, but you know you're doing it right and you're in safe hands. Yeah, if that makes sense.
Definitely. I've got the same mindset now. Like, I'm willing to spend the extra dollars to do it properly, because when I was first getting into Bitcoin, I was trying to buy the cheapest self-custody, the cheapest node, everything. And once I learned that, hey, there's actually value in this and it's worth trading a bit more of my time and energy, which is money, for something that's going to last me for a long time. So yeah, I couldn't agree more. Like, you have to consider those top dollar services and top dollar hardware devices and everything, because you're looking after something that you want for not 10 years, not 20 years, probably 30, 40 years, pass it on to your kids. So definitely something to take serious. And it obviously depends on your stack. If you're someone my age with a couple $100 in the bank, then just stack Bitcoin, stack sats, because that's where you're up to. But as you continue to build that wealth, you start going, how do I actually protect it? So that's the phase that I'm in anyway. Like, I've actually built a fair chunk, and I'm now going, I need to make sure I protect this before I continue to stack. Because if I just focus on stacking, but it's not in the right places, it's not protected in the right way, then it all could be a waste of time. You know, the exchanges that I'm using and the places where I'm buying could just disappear overnight. You know, worst case scenario, maybe that's a 1% chance, but it's still a chance. And, you know, I don't want to lose that Bitcoin. So definitely take it serious, tick off that 0.01 stack $1,000 before you consider self-custody. And then from there's nothing really holding you back. So get into a group, whether that's a Gen Z group with Finn Creighton, or whether that's an older group with Zane Truscott, sort of two similar mentorship groups with different ages. It's been really cool. And I wanted to get your take on what do you think of this era of self-education, because, you know, you could have gone, oh, I need to go to uni for finances, or I need to go to college and get a degree. Like, that was the old mentality. But I think now it's, no, I'm going to take education into my own hands, look into the courses I actually want to learn, not to get a degree, but to actually not only protect your savings, but, you know, we can talk about AI and leveraging AI potentially too. Have you got any thoughts on, maybe even for the kids that are coming up through uni and college, and we don't want to tell them don't go to uni or college, but maybe
we want to tell them don't go to uni or college.
We do want to tell them that.
Well,
then, go for it then. I'd love to hear your thoughts on self-education for sure.
100% self-education. You can't get educated in that system if you want to live outside of it.
That's 100%. You just hit the nail on the head. Like, that system makes you vote against yourself. And I've always said that, even voting for the last God knows how many elections.
It's an illusion of choice. That's all I'm saying.
100%. But whether it's right or wrong, it's just the way, that's what we know. It's the system we have. But yeah, once you go down the rabbit hole, you can't go back, because down the rabbit hole generally is right, in our opinion. But yeah, it is a funny space when you start going back to school, especially at our age, when we only know one thing. I've been a Boilermaker for 30 years. Bobbie's been a mum, and we owned a business, and that was a learning curve, which was self-educated as well. I mean, on the job training 101, really, like, that was big. And we did really well at it, but COVID killed it. And yeah, we got out of that and we moved on. But there was always that what next sort of feeling. We definitely didn't want to go into business again and hand all our hard-earned money to the government when we didn't want to do that again. So I think the self-education comes with responsibility, and that's exactly what Bitcoin gives you. And having self-custody is your own bank. So there's no third party. So that's something I always like to speak about, because it's true. Like, you can't get any more self-sovereign than having your own responsibility. And that's the hard part, isn't it? It's like learning and getting out of your comfort zone. It's pretty hard, isn't it? Like,
it's very hard, but I believe, well, for me personally, it's a better way to learn, because I mean, I was hopeless at school. I didn't want to be there. Like, I love the social side of it and that connection side of it, but the actual schoolwork, and then I got diagnosed with dyslexic. So then it was just, you know, whereas as I've got older, I can read books and I understand and I love learning, but I didn't get that when I was a child. Like, I hated school, whereas
that system didn't cater for your needs
My
in that sense. That
way of
curriculum doesn't
thinking
fit
or-
everyone.
No.
And especially nowadays, I think it's got worse, like 100% with the wokeism, and we could be here all day if we got onto that topic. But yeah, like we homeschooled our kids through COVID as they got older through high school. Our son left early and is hands-on as well. So yeah, from the education point of view, there's many people in this world, entrepreneurs and the like, which isn't taught in school as well. They don't teach you how to make money. They teach you how to earn it and pay tax, in my opinion. So there's a bit of school and government bashing right there.
But it would be good for like the likes of you, Joey, because we've got young, 20, 18-year-olds, 15-year-old, the likes of your age group to get to educate these kids on Bitcoin, and that there is another way.
Couldn't agree more.
Like Joey says, Bob, not saving. Don't put your money in the bank and get your 2-3%. You're not going to save your way to a deposit. I mean, what's a deposit now? 100 grand.
But also they don't listen to that. Like, they do listen to their parents, but to have someone their age showing them, like, it makes
make it look possible.
Yeah.
No, that's definitely. I've been in conversation with Finn Creighton, and we're trying to build a sort of a Gen Z community that's going to be similar to Zane's, and obviously it's going to be at a very good price level for these younger kids, because who knows what sort of stack they've already got. But the goal of that group would be, hey, let's all try and get to 0.1. Like, let's all just make that a goal, put a pause on, trying to just get a mortgage straight away, and let's all do this together, because I think that's extremely empowering. And I think Finn and I could run something like that that's targeting that audience, because we're both a similar age. And I just think that's exciting. Right. I think young people need that, and they need sort of a little bit of guidance, and not that I'm in that leadership role or anything, but I'm living that out now, and I can sort of show people what it could look like, saving in Bitcoin, stacking in Bitcoin, appreciating, trading my time and energy for something that's going to last. And it's just a different perspective on life, I think. And, I've just become so aware of big government, big education, big pharma, big food, the industrial complex, the military complex. Everything is just like this huge centralized, monopolized system where, now I want to homeschool my kids like from day one, because I'm realizing, education, big education is, even if you get into private school, even if you get, for us, it was a Christian school, and you think that you can protect them and shelter them, but you really can't. And on top of that, if I have a kid that's a bit more hands-on, like what you're expressing here, is I don't want them to sit there for 6 hours and just mindlessly have something on the whiteboard and repeat after me, this, that, and the kid just wants to run outside and climb a tree. Like, I'm not going to stop my kid from being adventurous or wanting to get dirty, wanting to hop on the motorbikes when he's young. Like, I want them to have fun, and I want them to learn, more practical things. I want them to be good, with mechanics with the cars. Like, and like, I think I missed out a lot at school. Like, I was good at school. I was a smart kid, but that measurement is just so an illusion. Like, getting an A, getting a B on an essay about comparing the movie with the book. It's like, some of these skills are handy and some of these things are good, but half the time I was doing history lessons, half the time I was learning science and things that I just did not need, and things I didn't even agree with. They were just theories. And so I just wish they could have gone, okay, we're going to do a class on mechanics. We're going to learn how to service your own cars. Now we're going to learn how to, save and set saving goals. Now we're going to show you alternatives to savings like gold. We're going to show you like Bitcoin. Like, these are things that I wish they could have taught me, because I get thrown into the real world on the back of COVID, and I'm going, how am I supposed to save? Like, what are taxes? Like, what are all these things? I don't know how to do anything. And, by 18, you should almost be, you're still a young man, but you should be a man. And I still felt like a kid, because I just felt you're looking for leadership, because that's all school's given you, is just follow the person at the front, raise your hand to go to the toilet, listen to the bell to leave school. It's like, that's not reality. Like,
it's a prison, mate. We have a school down the end.
Yeah.
You go down past the schools now and have a look at the fence around the schools.
Oh, it's
It's
just
just-
kids can't even escape if they wanted to.
We never had fences, but
No,
and
but having kids, and especially the son 18,
Our son,
Joey,
he's
it's-
going through
it's
that right
going-
now.
And I feel so sorry because they kind of don't fit into the normal society where
us.
they're going out drinking and stuff like that, because that's not what we do. But they're they're in between. They haven't found that balance. So we'll definitely get into watch you.
Follow your path. And I mean, our kids are watching what we're doing, you know,
Yeah.
and they're probably sick half the time. They're sick of us talking about Bitcoin because we live and breathe it. But
They'll appreciate it though as time
they
goes
will.
by.
It's a structure. Yeah,
Something will
structure.
sit with them, and even if
But we need more
they
people.
take in, even if they take in 10% of what you guys are saying, that's enough to get them by. Like,
Yeah.
I think they'll appreciate it as time goes on for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
Sorry, we got a bit waylaid there, Joey.
Nah, it's good.
No, like this is awesome, and I just think this education topic is massive right now, and I think
it's huge.
coming into that, I don't think it was ever made possible. I mean, technology maybe could have helped, and we saw some free things come to the stage, but I think AI is going to allow young people, if they have a dream and a vision of what they want to build online, AI will just help them get there. Like, it will just be the tool that gets them there. And we're part of that group, Satoshi Mastermind. Maybe I'll chuck it back on the screen. But could you maybe speak to why you wanted to sign up to something like that? And it's basically learning as much as you can about AI, even if you don't feel tech savvy, leveraging it to the point that you could build a personal brand, a website, automate emails, automate schedules. And what sort of made you go, oh, maybe I'll look at that? Because you've probably both been hands-on your whole life, and suddenly you're jumping into a tech world. Like, could you maybe speak to, age is just sort of a number in terms of learning these things? Because you didn't grow up with technology like me, but you're on the same page as me. So credit to you.
No, thank you. It doesn't feel like that at times because, we are both a bit.
Yeah, I get a bit overwhelmed by it sometimes. Bobbie has the patience, so she drives it a bit better. But what drew us to it was Sean. I'll just say it straight up.
Yeah,
Sean Clark.
He's just a great guy.
He's just got that great vibe, mate. Like,
genuine, authentic, and says it as it is.
Yeah, there's definitely signal there. So I remember Sean starting to talk about AI, and it for me, I was like, wow, I never thought about the connection between it and Bitcoin and business. Like, maybe more business, but not. We didn't have a business, so we were like, this sounds really interesting, but how are we gonna use it? Like, what are we gonna use it for? And that was when we, probably in the back of our minds, we were like, we were half interested in sharing our journey and the education side of it, and maybe making a YouTube channel, and we want to make some Wi-Fi money. So that's where what drove us to jump on the call, and off we went. So, but I did have a discussion with Sean in November last year where he actually called me. I was just messaging him privately on X and said, hey, mate, I'm really pissed off with my job. I want to leave my job. And got any ideas? And that was on the back burner from then until now. So and here we are. So great guy for reaching out. He called me back and then
that's pretty good.
Where we want to go, we need it. We've got to implement it, don't we? We can't just stay stale. Otherwise, we're just not going to go anywhere. We've got to step outside our comfort zone and give it a go. And we're just surrounded by the best people, and it sure makes a difference. You would know that, Joey.
Yeah,
like,
look at us.
Guy's amazing. Him and Finn, and everyone in the group's just great.
Yeah, I was just going to add to that and just say, like, I was in a similar spot, not in terms, like, we're obviously at different ends. Like, you guys have had careers and you've tried business, and I've sort of haven't even experienced life in that sense. But I've already done 4 years of a comfy job, under the title of my dad, like it's his business. And it's just a very cruisy and comfortable job. And it's scared to take a leap out of that spot because the payslip rocks up every Thursday and it's predictable and I know what I'm doing on Monday. But I think it's not going to scale, and it's got no opportunity to really, like, how often do we have an opportunity like AI? That doesn't come around often. And if you just let it go by, you'll just be left behind. And that's a pretty scary thought. Like, it definitely, that sort of scares me into trying something because, I know that the time is limited. I think we have maybe 5 to 10 years to sort of claim our part in the AI world and build a personal brand that people can put, a voice to the face and a face to the voice. But it's exciting. And I think being part of the group with you guys is going to be really cool. So that definitely also just made me want to bring you guys on, because we're doing it all together. And I just love that we're at different ends of the spectrum in terms of age and
just chatting to each other and figure, listening to their life stories, and that's interesting. Like, that's what I love. Like,
and we have the technology. We're across the country, and like you're actually a group of friends. I find that it's just such a better community than even the people around, because you all agree on what we know what we're talking about, for one.
I couldn't agree more. I've become such good friends with Finn, and I've become such good friends with Sean, and like anytime I text them or give them a call, they pick up. So I can't even really say that for some of for my close friends I can, but for friends outside of that circle, like, they might not get back to me for 3-4 days. So it's pretty cool when you're on the same page and you all have the same perspective on the world, and you can really use that to your advantage. That's when you can start networking to the point that you're building businesses together, building brands together, and you can sort of trust each other. Like, as soon as someone says, "Oh, I save in Bitcoin, I think Bitcoin's sound money," I go, "I trust you more than the bloke next to you," because that bloke loves Combank, that bloke loves Big Pharma, that bloke loves vaccines in his body. So I'm not going to trust him more than someone that's a bit more awake to the world. So for sure, like already with you guys, I'd probably ask you guys advice before half the people in my life, just because I know you see the world a certain way. So. And, and like some people think that's a bit of an echo chamber, but to me, it's a safe echo chamber. So like, I'm willing to take that. I'd rather that than the other echo chambers that they force.
You can't go back, mate.
Yeah,
you can't go back.
You can't go back.
Yeah, you got so much time on your side, and we all do, really. We've all got time. So it's just what you do with it. We can buy back our time, in my eyes. Like, if you can store your time and energy for the long haul, you're buying that back. Whereas if you save in the bank, they're sort of demonetizing you as a person. Like they're robbing you of your life. Like it's not just the money, because the money is a product of you. Like, as soon as they rob your money, they're robbing your time and energy, and that's a pretty scary thought. And they're almost. Yeah, I was just going to say, like, they're the closest to time travelers I've ever seen, the government, because they can print time and energy out of thin air. Like, that's the closest that I've ever seen, where they don't have to put any energy into it. They can just make it out of thin air and let it be. And so if that's not time traveling, then I don't know what it is, because that's pretty unfair. Like, I don't have that ability to print currency. So do you have any sort of thoughts on them robbing your time and energy? Because it's pretty demoralizing for sure. Well, they do. My thoughts on it, inflation. Like, really, I'm not sure where I heard it. I must have heard. I wouldn't have made it up. But inflation is robbing our children of their time and money for their future. That is time travel, because they're taking what they can. They can't buy a house in the future at that price, so they are robbing that by inflating the
couldn't
dollar.
Agree more.
So, and that's what's the same age. That's Gen Z. So. And not only that, it's so bloody hard with your friend circle, like how people agree with you, but they participate in it. They buy the investment properties and they don't need them, but they're sold that on, you'll save money.
Or it's for your kids, for your
future. And it's like, but you're also contributing to robbing them as well by paying the taxes, the stamp duty, the transfers, the land tax, like. Oh, it's so frustrating, like flipping cars. I've got mates that do cars and, fix them up and flip them. Oh, it's just cash money outside the government. Yeah,
but they just don't know. They don't know the other way, so they're just trying to make an extra dollar by not.
When it's in cash, they can still get a piece of it by inflating. Like, it's not protected. So, it's sort of. Cash is kind of self-custody from the bank. Like, it's sort of the same idea. Like, you take it into a private wallet, which is just cash under your mattress. But at the end of the day, the only way they can attack it is just making it worth less. So, they think they've protected it in a little briefcase. And what if they buried that money and sat on it for 30 years? Like, what's 10 grand that they bury in 30 years? It's probably $1. Like, it's just, it's an absolute joke. Like, it's just,
bullshit.
Imagine the person that buried $1 million 50 years ago. Like, he would have been so rich back then, but $1 million today does not buy the same as it did 30 years ago. So it's pretty incredible. Like, that's why I think they call it the silent tax. And Yeah, it's so criminal that they're traveling into the future and they're driving prices to the moon and robbing us now and robbing our future kids. So that's a pretty scary thought, and it's enough to wake someone up for sure. Yeah,
Hopefully. Yeah.
yeah. I just wanted to sort of add, like, so you guys you're an Aussie couple, both buying Bitcoin on the same page. What sort of advice that you could give to, I'd say it's typically the bloke that finds Bitcoin first because they're always looking for ways to find money and all these other ways. But what's some advice to the one person in a married couple that's on that page and they don't share that view with their partner? Like, what is some advice that you could sort of get them to lean on the same page and sort of, take that same perspective?
I think it's just having a
Being
relationship
open.
that's
Relationship,
open,
yeah.
it's
I
just
think
you
your
can talk.
relationship. Sorry,
No, you're right.
I think it's your relationship. How your relationship is how you'll either go with each other or you won't. Like a lot of people, maybe their relationship's a bit separated with their money. We've always done everything together. So probably the biggest advice would be is you have to do the research on it together. If you're not doing other things together, you maybe won't do this together. Or if you haven't woken up to the world and its systems and its control together, you might not do this together either. So it's probably more the foundation of your relationship at the end of the day. Like, we have done everything together. We still do. So I think that may play a large part. And funny enough, like, there is more and more women now in our circles, isn't there? I mean, you're the only one in our mastermind, but with Zane's group, there is quite a few. So I'm not really sure. I think it comes from health, being awake to the health and all the, like you said, all the institutions that, are all full of shit really at the end of the day, the way they control and train us to work against ourselves. So
Yeah. And I suppose it's just the individual person too. Like, I suppose, I don't know what other relationships are like, but I don't know whether the woman has much to do with the finance. I really don't know. That's just our story. That's how because we've been together since we were kids too. So I suppose, you just
listen to each other.
Yeah.
Listen to each other is the biggest advice.
And we scrap and fight, and we're no different. But I think the biggest thing is being open and being able to talk to each other without taking offense to it, or having an open mind with what they're trying to tell you in a way.
It might be about, probably another avenue would be the money. Like, I do work with quite a few guys that do a lot of overtime, and I have, some often thought, geez, why is that guy always at work? Like, he's either there for extra money, or another friend of mine at work mentioned a while back, he said they're probably unhappy at home. Like,
or they might have lots of commitments where they need the extra money and the wife doesn't.
But that's where Bitcoin might open you up to that. But it does seem like sometimes I get really frustrated. How come more people aren't into it? Like, you often get that, Joey? Like,
I think it's a brain thing.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, man. I just feel like it's too obvious now. I get frustrated. I just think, how's it not hit you in the face? But yeah, I just wanted to add to that. Like, I'm obviously fresh into my marriage, so things are going obviously well now because it's so fresh. But I'd like to think that we continue that. And I think, the reality is, like, I was reading Think and Grow Rich, which is what Sean Clark's been mentioning, that book, and I haven't finished it yet, but he said one of the biggest things, like, for a man's demise is, like, not having a supportive partner or not picking the right person to stick with their whole life. And he said, like, you can be, the most successful and smart person and blah, blah, blah. But as soon as, your partner, or it can be vice versa, wife or husband, as soon as they're not on the same page or open mind, they don't even have to be on the same page. As soon as they're on a closed mind, you're really going to struggle because it's just not that open communication. And a lot of those things are sort of a cliche, but I think they're so true. And, for my wife, like, she's not like you, Bobbie. She's not listening to the podcast while she's cleaning and doing things. Like, she's just going, you're obviously obsessed and you found something special, and I'm just going to support you no matter what. And if it ends up making us broke, it is what it is. We'll still be together. And if it ends up making us filthy rich, then it is what it is too. Like, she's not.
That's still support, isn't it?
That's
great.
Yeah,
that's
and
great.
it's just, it's unreal. Like, she's just been so good, and she's got no idea what Bitcoin is, but she's allowed us to pretty much save in Bitcoin, which is major. Like, a lot of people would go, you're crazy and no, like we can have separate banks then, like don't even touch my money. And that's
Yeah.
just so like toxic. Like
That's
who wants to
mad.
be like that? And
There's people like that though. There is people
when you get
like that.
married though, it's a partnership. Like
That's right.
you become
you've
one
gotta-
and you become one with your finances too. So I don't really understand that trying to live separate yet you both share a ring. So I don't know, it's just a little bit
On
of,
that,
I
like,
think,
what's
We're a bit old schoolish. Sort
yeah,
of,
we
but
are. But just to speak on what Joe was saying there, like even like your wife said it. Well, if it goes to shit and goes to zero,
You're
I'll
still going to
still
have the
support
support.
you.
Yeah.
But I think it's Tony, the Bitcoin way, that says that too. If it goes to shit, what's the world going to be like then anyway? So you might as well give it a crack. Like that's the thing. Like
what's the alternative? Yeah.
what's the alternative? It's like a common thing I get too is, yeah, but you get taxed on your Bitcoin. You know, you get taxed. How many times do you hear that? Yeah, but I'm not selling it, mate. I'm sold fiat to buy Bitcoin. It's not the other way around. It ain't coming back. Like,
Yeah, and there's also like I don't know if you guys are open to any of like financial products that are using Bitcoin as collateral and thing, but I think as it becomes this really like big asset and sort of joins the financial world, even though I want to sort of, you know, keep it in like a gated sort of community, but I think it's just going to get there regardless because it can be so many things. But you know, there's a world that there's Bitcoin backed mortgages. Like there's a world where, you know, you can take a credit or a line against your Bitcoin, and I don't advise those things now because it's very fresh. But all we have to do right now is build our stack as big as possible. We know what it is, we know how important it is, and then we'll just face the world as it comes. Like there's no time to sell like in the next 5-10 years. So
mate, it's all
I'm
about
the
time.
same. I'm holding on no matter what. Like I said to my wife, like I will sell my car. I'll sell like if we have a house, like I'll sell everything before I sell my Bitcoin because all that stuff I can get again. Bitcoin I won't be able to. Like Bitcoin will just fade into the distance in terms of price. And that's just my number one goal, like protect the honeypot no matter what. And could you maybe actually just speak into how you're doing that? Because a lot of people would say how you guys still saving, spending, paying the bills, funding things for your kids like sports and things while still saving and not touching the stack. How do you avoid touching the honeypot?
We have older cars. We don't. Yeah.
We don't buy what we don't need. We just
We don't
cost
go out a
Reduce
lot.
spending
Yeah.
across the board.
And we have done that. We have sold some stuff and we've done some stuff. Yeah, we've liquidated other assets and put them into it. So, and we just dollar cost average. And if there's any extra money come our way, that's where it goes.
Yeah.
And
no new cars, no new. Well, we get what we need, but we're not extravagant.
Every now and then I might float the idea of something new, but then straight away you go, no, I don't need it. You get a bit excited, or you, I wouldn't mind a new
Feel
bike.
like you're missing out sometimes, but
still right. Yeah,
nah, we're not.
Still ride a 2016 dirt bike, you know, my enduro bike and stuff like that. It's just, and it still
tempting
is
to get the 2026, but that's right.
It is. But what's the point? You're only going to throw it down a hill and bang it up anyway.
And it loses value after, you know,
Yeah.
a few hours riding too. So it's just a
You just
reality
see
of,
it's so different.
You do.
don't you? Once you understand Bitcoin, you just see everything differently.
Yeah, and I think that has rubbed off on the kids. Like our son, you know, we helped him out with a car and he basically had a loan through that with us, and he sold that and we got the money back, you know, like because he didn't want to have the debt then. He was like, oh, I don't really need this.
He'd rather have the freedom by not having to work so much.
A job that he didn't like, or he's trying to find his way with what he wants to do for work. So having that debt over his head was an early learning that
it's not worth it.
You're stuck in something you don't want to do. So, and that was also great because we got our money back and put it into Bitcoin. So there you are. That's one way we did it. We never had that help when we were younger. So yeah, it was good.
Yeah. Yeah, no, definitely. I think it's just reining in this, like, because I feel like people already feel like they're living paycheck to paycheck. It's hard to introduce, like, it's an alternative savings, and then they'll just go, I don't save, so no point. Like, I've got nothing left over. But I think it's time for us Aussies to go, let's look into our budget. What are we spending? What are we saving? What subscriptions are we involved with? Like, what are the flashy things we're getting? What are the credit cards we keep adding against? What are we financing? Like, was this mortgage too much for us to handle? Like, can we afford $700, $800 a week, or should we have just rented somewhere else? Like, Unfortunately, because we're in this position, we have to consider reducing our wants and our spendings, like to get that savings. But it is what it is, and it's going to really help you for the long haul. And it doesn't mean that you eat crap just because you can't afford that steak or afford the eggs, because health is your wealth. But
That still comes first.
you cut out all the bull crap. Like you cut out the Disney Plus subscription, or you cut out the finance car. Like you just sort your loans out, sort your debt out, and then
Yeah.
really find out how much you make each week. And then you could find a percentage in there, to whether it's $10 a week, whether it's $50 a week in Bitcoin. It's just something that can get you started. And then, skin in the game, you'll start to learn what it is. And suddenly maybe you are still picking up the extra shift on Saturday, but it's going into Bitcoin and it's not going into Combank or ANZ or Westpac. Like stuff the bank, stop feeding this machine. Like, the machine that will live the longest is the one that everyone continues to feed with their energy. So, pull your energy out of that machine and plug it into Bitcoin. And then guess what? What's that going to do to Bitcoin? Grow Bitcoin, build the network, continue to drive its price up, number go up. So I just think it's so important and I think, I get that perspective from Jeff Booth. Like he just says, whatever system you feed is the system that's going to win. So it's time to unplug. We keep yelling at the people on TV. We keep yelling at the politicians. But what can we do? We can actually go, we're not going to save in the currency that you issue. Like we're not going to save in the currency that you debase. We're going to choose an alternative, and that's the free market. So you can get stuffed, and we're going to choose an alternative path. So yeah, I don't know if you wanted to add anything to that as we finish up, but just maybe a final message to Aussies in the chat, Aussies that are going to watch the recording back. We'll wrap up from there.
And listen to your, make sure you look after yourself too, not just your finances. It's not just when
it's where you're the same thing. It's the same energy. But I think Joey just answered basically what I asked before, is how come so many people don't head towards Bitcoin in these times? But it's hard. It's the proof of work, like you just said, Joey. Like they don't have the extra money, but they do, but they want everything now. Is that plausible? Like it takes a while. You got to let it do its work, and it's got a long time horizon. Whereas now you can get the debt and get what you want straight away, and that just comes with, I'll just get it now and pay for it. So you don't have the reserves in your paycheck. It's already taken before you've earned it, in a sense, with the items and the materialistic things you already have. So yeah, so dollar cost average, that's the advice. Just start off with $10 a week and watch it grow. It'll go up and down, but it will grow over time. And then when you learn it, because your skin's in the game, then you'll look for, to liquidate other equity you've got somewhere, or if you haven't, you'll work harder
and improve other
put your time
aspects of your life too. That's what it does.
Yep. And then you meet people like you and the rest of our new friends, and
there's plenty of people to connect with now. It's not a lonely world anymore. Like don't let that hold you back. You'll find the right people if you just get some skin in the game, and they'll sort of just come to you. That's what I've noticed. I haven't even had to go looking. They've just presented themselves through the algorithm. So
the energy.
It's quite
the energy,
odd.
good energy, mate.
It's great energy. And it's quite odd. I mean, we've known like Joey through the start of Zane, but only on the chat group, and now here we are.
Yeah.
It's just that network. Zane, the same. We all start off with someone, and we're all there now. So, and we got way further to go.
And thanks, Joey. You're doing great, guns. So good to watch, and see someone so young and how you talk and everything. You're doing great.
And I appreciate it. I'll have to get your kids involved in the Finn and I's group that we're making for Gen Z, because they'll love it. I think they'll enjoy those Zoom calls. We'll be doing group Zoom calls together and setting like stacking goals and Facebook marketplace challenges to see what we can sell. Like it's going to be a fun group, and we're looking forward to starting that up. So we'll keep people posted on that. But that idea is going to continue to grow, so we're looking forward to it. We'll finish there, but thanks everyone for tuning in. We saw a few people come and go, and also for the people that joined the recording, we appreciate you guys watching. And go check out Matt on X, and so I've put his links in the description below, and hopefully next time we can live stream straight to your channel, mate. So that'll be good.
That'd be good, mate. Yep, and we'll be off and running soon with Two Kind Minds. So cheers, mate.
Sounds good.
Thanks,
looking forward to it.
Guys. See
you guys. Bye.